Hello, welcome to VMC. Today's a little bit of a different video. I thought I would do a bit of a dog gift guide so that if you are looking to buy a gift for a dog in your household or a friend's dog, that you have some ideas for things to look for and that you have the information you need to try to give something useful. Join me, you'll learn something. First, let's talk about food gifts. If you are going to be giving a sort of a treat as a gift, that will fall into their 10% of their daily caloric allowance for their treats, toppers, additives, etc. And so you have to be very mindful of how many calories are in these sorts of items. It's wonderful if the treat can act both as enrichment, but if it's also Veterinary Oral Health Council approved, that means that it has research behind it showing it slows down dental disease. So there's a list on the VOHC website, and I will link it in the doobly-doo so that if you're looking for other options, you can find them. But things like veggie dents and greenies, etc., they all do have research showing that they slow down dental disease, and especially if you put that item into a food puzzle. For my dog, I will put a veggie dent into one of the bones from the West Paw company. That works like a charm, and then it gives her something safe that she can gnaw on. It's also helping to slow down dental disease. It's enrichment. We're just winning all around. So if you're looking for treats, I would recommend you look for something like that, or at the very least that it doesn't have any ingredients that could otherwise be dangerous for the pet, like garlic and onion, etc. Unfortunately, those sorts of ingredients often do make it into treats, and so you have to carefully read the packaging before you buy it and find a treat that either can be broken into small pieces and or is as low calories as possible. Next, let's get into some toys. So remember the rule of thumb for toys. Here, I'll grab an example from my dog here. This is a rough wear toy. So the rule of thumb is that you need to be able to indent it with your fingernail. I hope you can see that there. And if you whack it against your kneecap, like give it a good whack. My dog's right there. But if you give it a good whack, it shouldn't hurt. So that means that because this passes both of those criteria, it's unlikely it's going to break my dog's teeth. Now, something with this particular toy is you have to be careful with any sort of dangly bits that come off of toys. You'll need to carefully supervise your pet when they interact with it, because if they start gnawing at this rope, they could swallow some pieces. It could cause a foreign body. I mean, that goes for the not rope part as well, but basically you need to be monitoring to make sure that your pet interacts with the toy safely. I'll give this one to my dog as she's waiting for me to be finished with it. I'll try video it. Would you like the toy? Nico. Okay, you can have it. Yeah. You lucky dog. You lucky dog. Yeah. Oh, you're so good. Oh, that's so fun. So for another toy that I often have out for my dog just to chew on is this one. This is by Kong, and I like it because it passes the test for chewing. However, you can also shove food into the interior here, or you can spread canned food into the little ridges in here. You could even freeze it, and then it can also be a bit of a food puzzle. And so my dog quite likes this one. I had to go rummaging through her closet and her baskets around the house to get a little bit of a selection of toys to show you guys, and she's very excited by this and is paying close attention to my left. So I'll give her this now that we've talked about it. Good girl. Next, I'll show you, it's great to have a ball like this one. You know, they're soft for if your dog is throwing it around in the house. However, you can also make it into a food puzzle if your dog will interact with pieces of cloth in an appropriate manner. You can bunch kibble into some cloth and shove it through these holes, and then the dog can pull the pieces of fabric out to get the pieces of food, and that can make this into a nice food puzzle. But it's also just great for the dog to carry around, or you know, whatever the case may be. This can be a fun one to have. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of toys toys that serve more than one purpose because they're not always cheap. So I try to make the most of my money. I also love to gift food puzzles to dogs. So I'll show you some that are a bit less common because most people these days are aware of things like the Kong and the Topple. This is a Star Mark toy, and so you can see that there's places on each end where Star Mark has some pucks, I would call them, that you can put in here so that the dog has to try to chew it out of this toy. Again, you know, this puzzle passes the tests. You can indent it with a fingernail, you can smack it against your knee. You could also stuff other things in there. I do find that the Star Mark replacement treats are a bit high in calories and they can be a bit expensive, so this tends to be like a very special treat for my dog. However, it can be a great one, and some dogs will take quite a long time to gnaw it out of there. So if you haven't considered something like this, they also have a bone that you can put rings into. I have that around here somewhere as well, and a few other ones that you can put kind of their pucks in. But this is a great toy that maybe not as many people know about. I also find that a lot of people don't know about the Snoop. My dog just got up again. She really likes this one too. You put the kibble in, but if they're bopping it about and it just falls upside down, because of this folded over piece, the kibble won't fall out. It's not particularly hard once they kind of get the gist of it, but as it gets emptier, it does get harder and they'll have to bounce it exactly right a few times to get a piece out. And it's also incredibly indestructible. Like, I've had to replace a number of different toys for my dog. I would not call her a super aggressive chewer. I'd call her moderate to moderately aggressive at chewing, and she has not managed to make a dent on this one, but I've had to replace the West Paw Topples multiple times over the 3.5 years I've had this dog, and I've had to replace the Kongs that I use once. I use the blue colored rubber ones, as those, if they swallow a piece, it shows up on x-ray. However, I know that their black rubber is even more durable than the blue, so I could switch to the black Kong, but honestly, I don't mind replacing the Kongs every 2 or 3 years. That's okay by me, but she has not made a dent on this one, and that's remarkable to me. Do you want your Snoop? Good job. And the last food puzzle that I'll show for kibble types is this one by Busybuddy. This can be quite a challenging food puzzle. So the way that it works is you unscrew the bottom here, you put the kibble in, you thread, yeah. I see you. You would like to use it, would you? Well, give me just a second and I'll show it to the people and then you can have it. Just a second, okay? You're a good dog. Yeah, you're a good dog. Yeah. I know you know. You're a good dog. I know. What help? Can I give you this one instead? So once you've stuffed it full, then what you end up having the dog doing is that they have to pull on this rope and the kibble will get caught on the knot and it will come out here. Now, it's quite a small hole, so you have to be certain that your kibble is small enough. One thing I will say about this toy is that this part is absolutely not safe for chewing on. So you have to have a bit of a training plan in mind of how you're going to introduce this, how you're going to shape them to interact with it properly, and make sure that you can guide them to figuring it out in a safe manner. And it can be difficult for a dog to figure this particular one out. It took my dog quite a while, and it's probably one of the most challenging food puzzles for my dog anyway. I would also be remiss if I didn't bring up all the amazing options we have to put kibble in water or kibble in canned or canned food into. The last company that I'll bring up is Nina Ottoson. If you look up that website, you will find a ton of awesome food puzzles that are quite different from the more mobile ones I've talked about already. I do have quite a few of them for my dog, and they're rated easy, medium, challenging kind of difficulty levels. And they also have instructions on the boxes with how to properly introduce it to your dog so that they aren't feeling frustration, but that they're having fun with it. So those are some food puzzle suggestions that I have for you this year. I hope that you have fun shopping for a gift for the dog in your life. I would love if you would comment with what your dog's favorite food puzzle is. That way we can have a variety of suggestions in the comments for for other people to learn from. And if you have video or photo of it, I would love to see it. Don't hesitate to comment with any future topics you'd like me to cover. And I put out a new video most Fridays, so I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, bye. You're so good. Oh, that's so fun.